welcome back to my channel. My name is Pindi Leslope, original from South Africa, but currently living in Poland, and Poland is in Europe. Guys, thank you so much for being here. If it's your first time here, welcome my darling, and please make sure that you don't leave without subscribing. We are on our road to 700 subscribers, so by the time I post this video, I don't know if we will be in 700 subscribers or we will still be fighting to get to this number. But please make sure that if you are new here, if it's your first time here, you don't leave without subscribing. I would really appreciate this. And if you are a new subscriber, my darling, my sweetheart, welcome, and thank you so much for subscribing. Thank you so much for helping my channel grow. I really appreciate this. And please make sure that you stay, and please make sure that you like, comment, and share this video. And if you are a returning subscriber, a regular, my darling, my sweetheart, welcome back to welcome back to the channel. And thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for always supporting me. Thank you so much for everything that you are doing in this channel. I really appreciate this. Guys, as you could have seen by the title of the video, I'm back with another story time. My life is a movie film. So as you could have seen by the title of the video, I'm back with another story time. And this story time, it's crazy and stupid, and not stupid, it's crazy and funny and strange, to be honest with you. And I don't think my family or my mother could have thought that I would do this story time. And by the time I'm doing this story time, I didn't tell my mother that I'm going to do this, so I will record it and tell her after that that I recorded the story and I'm thinking of posting it, because it involves family. So So anyway, guys, keep on watching, and I hope you will enjoy this video, and I hope you will enjoy the story time. Please, after this, just laugh, guys, just laugh. They are crazy, you know. So for this story time, we will be drinking Summersby. This is like a cider in Poland. It's like it's a cider. So today we'll be drinking a Summersby. It's very yummy, and this is a watermelon flavor. It's very yummy. I like it so much. Okay, I'll go back. So guys, please, if you don't have water, if you don't have coffee, if you don't have drink, if you don't have majwala next to you, please go get these things, because you will definitely need them. Yeah? Askal. So this story happened in 2016 or early 2017. I cannot remember the dates correctly. This is the uncle. How? He's not my mother's brother, but he's my mother's I can say cousin. And no, man, yes, cousins. Why? Because my grandfather, who happens to be my mother's father, and his father, they are cousins. So my grandfather and his father, they are cousins. So that's how he is my uncle. So he's one of the extended families, you know. So this uncle, I knew him very well. He knew me very well. He knew everyone. He knew the entire family. And we used to meet like when there's funerals and imsebenzi, like traditional ceremonies. So we used to meet. For that time, it was nothing like us going to visit his house or going to visit his family. No, his side of the family, we knew, like they used to come. Even when my grandmother passed away, they were there at the funeral. Even the sisters, his sisters, they were there at the funeral. You will understand later why I'm explaining all of this. So normally when he comes to all the family ceremonies like funerals and all those kind of things, he used to come with his wife. So one time, because me and my ex, we used to live in Three Rivers. So in Three Rivers, there was a mall. In this mall, there were banks and all those kind of places that you can go. So he used to stay. My uncle used to stay in Val, but a bit far from Three Rivers where we used to stay with my partner. So he knew my partner. Guys, he knew everything. He knew everything. So one time we went to the mall with my ex, and he met us there, and he was going inside the bank, and he was with his daughter because he had a young daughter at that time. So we met him, and he was happy to see us. We were happy to see him. His family, we should be happy to see him. I mean, his family. So he was there, and we met him. We bumped into him, and he was telling us that he's in a hurry because he has to go to hospital because his wife is very, very sick, and the wife is in hospital. And we were just shocked, like, oh my goodness, we just saw this person not a long time ago, like 2 months ago, at my grandmother's funeral. My grandmother, who is my mother's mother, they were there. We just saw him we just saw her a few months ago, and now she's sick, she's in hospital, what's going on? And he told us what was wrong with the wife, and she's really in a bad condition. And me and my ex, we were like, okay, just tell us which hospital she's in, and then we will come and visit her. He told us, and we told him that, okay, we will see you when we come and see the wife. I think 2 weeks later, before we could even get time to go visit the wife in hospital, my mother told me that unfortunately the wife passed away. It was really, really bad. It was a sad time for us, but at that time, me and my partner, we were having problems. So I had moved out of, it was like, I think it was 2 days after I had moved out of my house with my ex. So I had moved to one of my mother's houses, the one I was telling you about. So I had moved there, so I was just getting myself together, and I had told myself that, you know what, I want to be relaxed. I just want to take my time and just relax. So I was having the time of my life, and my mother told us that unfortunately your uncle's wife passed away. And I was like, oh my goodness, that's so bad. I felt bad for the kid because the child that time, she was 5 years old, so she was very young, and my uncle didn't have any other kids, like older kids, or that could take care of this child. So fine, we went to the funeral. At the funeral, he saw me, everything was fine. I didn't notice anything. Like, he was okay. He was my uncle. He was okay. But then my uncle's wife had older kids, like 2 of them, I think, but they were all studying and in school at that time. Few days after the funeral, okay, let me fix this. I think it's not okay. Okay, now it's fine. Okay, so few months after a funeral, my mother, like, we are talking normally on the phone with my mother, and she's like, hey, guess what? I said, what? She said, your uncle was asking about you a lot. And I said, my uncle? But which uncle? And she told me which uncle. I was like, oh, okay, that's strange. This person has never asked about me, never at all. So what could be wrong? And my mother said, oh, he was asking me, what are you doing now? Because the last time you saw each other, it was at the funeral, and you had told him that you currently not working, and you just moved out of your ex's house, and he was asking, what are you doing, and things like this. And I said, oh, okay. And my mother mentioned that he also asked my mother if it would be possible for me to come and help him take care of his daughter, because the daughter was 5 years old, and my uncle used to work in Johannesburg, and every morning he used to travel from Johannesburg and come back in the evening. So that means, he explained to my mother that early in the morning he doesn't have time to prepare the child, and he doesn't have anywhere to leave the child, because I think the transport picks her up around 7, and around 7 he's in Joburg already. So he needed somebody to be there in the morning when the transport comes and picks up the child, and in the afternoon when the transport comes and drops off the child, because he's still at work by the time the child finishes school. And I asked my mother, but why didn't he call me? My mother said, okay, if you want him to call you, I'll give him your numbers and then you guys can discuss if you are willing to do this and you are willing to help him with the child. Shabuge Naganjani, my uncle calls me and asks me, hey Pindi, how are you? I'm fine, uncle, how are you? Oh, I'm good. It's good to talk to you after a long time. I don't know if your mother has told you this, but I need somebody to help me with baby K. We'll just say baby K because the name of the child was K. It started with K. He said because I needed somebody to help me with baby K. So I was wondering if you are willing to help out. And then I asked him, do you want me to come there every morning and then leave in the afternoon, or how do you, or you will drop baby K here and pick her up here? I don't understand. What do you want from me exactly? And he said, you know what, I would prefer if you can come and stay here with us, and maybe come on Sundays, and on weekends you can go back home. And I was like, oh, okay, it's not a bad idea, guys. I didn't think it was a wrong. I didn't think anything wrong about this because this is my uncle, right? Sharp Naganjani ke. I was like, okay, it's fine. Oh, and he told me that don't worry, I will be paying you every month just for helping me, just to say thank you. And I was like, who? Extra money? Okay, no problems whatsoever. And I don't have anything that is holding me back, so I can go and stay there. And on the weekends, I can just come back home and have time to myself. So Naganjani, I packed my stuff and he came, my uncle came, and we talked and we spoke, and I saw baby K again, and baby K loved me because I loved baby K so much. I still love her even now. Baby K loved me so much, and we were talking with her, and she was so happy because already my uncle had told her that I'm going to live with them, and she was so happy, she was so excited. So finally, again, Naganjani, I moved to my uncle's house. So this is how the house was. There was a kitchen, the bathroom, baby K's room, and my uncle's room, and the other bedroom that was supposed to be a bedroom, they had actually turned it into a dining room because they didn't have a dining room, and he had a furniture for a dining room and a living room. So the living room was small, so they couldn't put all the furniture together, so they decided that they are going to make they are going to turn this bedroom into a dining room. I don't know if that makes sense. So that means I had no choice but to share a room with baby K. Okay, so my uncle had his own room and I was sleeping with baby K. So finally, guys, Naganjani, I move in with them, and every morning my uncle will wake up. Guys, I didn't see anything wrong. I didn't see anything wrong. I didn't even catch him looking at me like somehow. Like, there was nothing wrong. Okay? Shabuge, every morning he would go to work. Before he goes to work, he would wake me up and baby K so that I can prepare baby K. So he would knock, and whenever he knocks, and then I would respond, and he will come in and give baby K a kiss and say good night and wake us up, and that's it. So fine, after he leaves for work, I would wake up and prepare baby K and fix something to eat for her, and she'll be watching cartoons and minding her own business. Shabuge. But one thing I've noticed is that my uncle used to be on his phone a lot. He used to be on his phone a lot. So I figured, I was like, maybe he has a girlfriend. And I remember my mother asking him, because he used to see like pictures of a woman with baby K and another child and this woman and on my uncle's status on WhatsApp. And my mother asked him and my mother asked him, is this your girlfriend? And my uncle was like, no, this is my co-worker. She normally comes and see me and visit me with his son, but me and her, we are not dating. And my mother was like, okay, that's good. And me too also, I didn't I didn't know that my uncle was dating anyone, but I figured because he was on his phone all the time, like all the time he was on his phone. Sometimes he would go to his bedroom and talk on his phone for a very long time, for like an hour. Sometimes he would be fighting on the phone, and I was like, ooh, trouble in paradise. Another point that I need to make is that I didn't notice any woman stuff because I didn't go to my uncle's room, because that's the thing about my uncle. He was very, very clean. So in the morning before he goes to work, he would make his bed. He will make sure that his bed is made, and there was nothing that could make me go to his room, unless if I was cleaning, then I would just clean there and there, the surfaces on the floor. There was no reason for me to open his closet and look for something, because there was nothing there that belonged to me. So I didn't know what was in his closet. Like, I didn't know anything. And in baby K's room, it's baby K's clothes and my clothes, so I didn't notice anything. Oh, one fateful morning. Hey, so after baby K, after the transport picked up baby K for school, I decided that, you know what, I'm just gonna go, which is something that I used to do a lot, especially if I was tired. So because I used to wake up very early in the morning, so I was like, okay, on this particular day, let me just go and take a nap, and I will wake up around 9 and have breakfast. So naganjani, I went to bed, and normally when I do this, nobody will wake me up because there's nobody coming in this house. So I went to bed. Guys, 30 minutes after I zoomed in, 30 minutes after I fell asleep, I had like a very, very loud knock on the door. And I was like, yo, police, what's going on? This person was knocking on the door, and I was like, oh my goodness, this person is not gonna go away. I just woke up. I just remember I was wearing a night dress, and I didn't have a gown with me. So I was wearing a night dress, and the night dress was very short, but it was just a night dress. And I think somewhere it had holes. Like, it was just a normal night dress, and I used to love this night dress. So I woke up and I took my slippers and I went, and as I was walking to the door, I could hear that this person is trying to put a key. And I was like, who could that be? And I'm like, what's going on? And this person is really trying to open the door. I'm like, maybe somebody's trying to break into the door. Like, what's going on? And I peeped on the living room's window, but I couldn't see this person. I was like, you know what? I'm just going to open the door. If this person, because they are neighbors, so if this person tries to kill me or something, then I will scream, because I don't know, because it seemed like this person is trying to break in. I knew that if my uncle had forgotten something, he was gonna call me and tell me that he's coming back home to look for something. And I knew that the only people who had the house keys, it was me and my uncle, because I had my key and he had his own key. Shabuge, I go to the door. When I unlock the door and I open, immediately when I open, this woman was like, hello. And I was like, hello? And he said, like, open this door. And I was like, why would I do that? I was like, why would I do that? He said, because I have my key and my key is not working, and I'm just shocked why my key is not working. And I was like, maybe there's a reason why your key is not working. Maybe the locks were changed, or maybe you don't live here. And I think by saying that, I pissed her off. And she said, listen, I just want to come in and take my stuff. My name is so-and-so. And I was like, I recognize this name from somewhere. But where? So I was standing there trying to think, where do I know this woman from? And I see her face. I think I've seen this face somewhere. And then it hit me. This is the woman that was on my uncle's statuses, because I used to see my uncle's statuses also, because I had his number, of course. So I used to see his statuses. I said, but this is the woman. I was like, interesting. But this is my uncle's co-worker. So why would she come here and claim that she's here to pick up her stuff? And I said, okay, I'm going to open for you, but you need to come down because I don't know you. She said, okay, fine. And then I opened the door, and immediately when I opened the butler, like when I unlocked the butler, she opened it and she pushed me to the side. I was like, ha, drama. I was like, it drama. She pushed me and she went straight to my uncle's bedroom. And when she went straight to my uncle's bedroom, I knew that, okay, this person knows this house. So I'm just going to sit here and wait for her and see what she's going to do. And I was sitting there like, okay, I'm just going to wait to see what's going on. Yeah, but because I don't know what is this woman. So I was sitting like here facing the window, and here it was a passage. So this passage, it was leading straight to baby K's room and my uncle's room. So I was just sitting there waiting to see if she will find something, because I didn't see anything that belonged to her. Not that I looked, but I don't remember seeing anything that belonged to this woman or whatever woman. And then she came out, of course, holding clothes, bras, underwears. And then she came out with those clothes, and she went back to the bedroom again, and she put them in the bed. And she came straight to me and she said, who are you? I said, my name is Pindi, and who are you? And she said, okay, I heard about you. And I said, heard about me from who? And she said, your uncle, if he really is your uncle, he told me that you're staying here and you are helping to take care of baby K, and you are helping them with everything in the house. I was like, that statement is not all true, because I'm just here taking care of baby K. But anyway, I said, okay, and yeah, this is me, and that's true, this is my uncle. And she's like, that's strange. I don't think any of the family members from your uncle's side know anything about you, because I asked them and they told me that they don't know anyone by that name from their family. I said, woman, you know what? You better call my uncle. Or I would call him and explain the situation, because I don't know if you are even allowed to be in this house. Because if he changed locks, that means he didn't want you in here. And she's like, no, don't call him. Don't call him, because just don't call him. And I was like, okay. And I didn't call my uncle. I was just sitting there. And she said, okay, let's talk woman to woman. And she asked me, how old are you? And I told her, I'm like, I'm 27, because I was 27 that time. She's like, okay, then that means we can talk women to women. And I was like, who does this woman think I am in this house? Like, woman to woman. And she said, my name is so-and-so. Your uncle kicked me out because you were coming to stay here. I was like, you were living here? She said, yeah. I was living here and your uncle kicked me out and told me that you are coming to live here, so we cannot live together. I was like, that's strange, because my uncle never even told me about you. I don't even know anything about you. I'm a daughter. Yo, men's don't want us. I'm a daughter was funny, guys. Let's leave them alone. And I said, but I don't know anything about you. And she said, I don't even believe that you are your uncle's niece, because nobody even heard of you from his family. I think there's something going on between you two. And I said, okay, but I just told you this person is my uncle. This person is from my mother's side. So I don't know what you want to hear from me. And she said, I don't believe it. And you know what? I think we should call your uncle's sisters. And I was like, okay, you can call them. They can come here. And she said, and I don't want you here. I think you should leave, because you don't belong here. I don't understand. As young, and now she started to say bad things about me. She said, as young as you are giving yourself to this man. This man is useless. And I was like, she started saying a lot of things. Now she started being petty. Is it petty or pity? She started being like mean for no reason. And I was like, you know what? I don't have time for this. please call my aunts and tell them to come here. Sharp naganjani. She took out her phone and she called my uncle's sisters. That's where the drama starts. Guys, as I was about as I was doing this story, my mother called and I told her, I was like, Mom, remember when my uncle wanted to marry me? So anyway, guys, now this woman took out her phone and started calling my uncle's sisters, who happens to be my aunt. And she called them and they said that they will come to the house. And when she called them and told them that there's a woman who's living here. There's a girl who's living here, and this girl is claiming to be my uncle, the niece of this particular person, and so they need to come and see this person. And so the aunts, they asked, but what is her name? And they told her my name, and the aunts were like, we don't know anyone by that name. We've never even heard of that person. She's lying. So guys, immediately when they said that, that's when they gave her authority to even insult me more. Oh, she went off. Can you imagine? And I was just sitting there like, you know what? I'm not going to argue with this woman. She's old. I don't have time for this. I don't have energy to fight with her. Like, I was just like sitting there like, how did I get myself into this situation? How did I end up in this situation? Shabuge, the aunts, they come, they knocked at the door, and I was sitting there not opening the door. And she's like, this is your house. Shabuge, I opened the door. Immediately when I opened the door, it was the aunt, the husband of the aunt, and one other lady who happened to be the aunt also. So me, when I saw them, I noticed them and I was like, hello, how are you? This is Pindi. Remember we met at my grandmother's funeral? They were like, we don't know you. And I was like, come on guys, my mother is so and so and so. They were like, no, that person doesn't have a daughter like you, so we don't know you. We've never even heard of you. And I was like, amen. So they came inside the house and they sat down. Immediately when they sat down, they started taking this woman's side now, saying that, yeah, our brother is wrong for doing this to you. You're such a good woman. You were taking care of him. You were taking care of the child. And I was just sitting there like, my uncle never told me about you. And they were like, this woman is lying. She's not the daughter of this person. We don't know her. We've never seen her in our lives. And I was like, guys, you were at my grandmother's funeral in Kwadwa. Like, this is me. And they were like, no, we don't know you. We've never even met you. And I was like, you know what? The best way is for us to call my mother to come here and to explain this whole situation. And they were like, yeah, call her. And I was like, okay. I took out my phone, and guys, I knew that immediately when I called my mother, she's gonna go crazy. I knew that she was gonna go crazy because I know my mother. Touch her kids and you will deal with her. I called my mother. I said, Mom, this is what is happening. I've been insulted in this house because of this and this and this and this. My mother was like, worry not, I'll be there in less than 30 minutes. And I was like, huh? And it was early in the morning. My mother was like, I'll be there in less than 30 minutes. I'm just getting dressed and I'm coming there. And I was like, okay. So this woman told me, give me your mother's phone number. And then I gave her my mother's phone number, and she called my mother and she was like, hello, this is so and so, and your daughter is here, so I would like for you to be here as soon as possible. My mother said, I said I'm coming. And this woman said to my mother, if you don't have money for petrol, I'll give you money for petrol. My mother was boiling already, and she went on and poured petrol emlilweni. My mother boiled even more. You are even offering money for petrol. And my mother was like, I'll be there, and stop calling me. So remember I told you that I was sitting and facing the window. So as I was sitting facing the window, I could see my mother's car passing. And I was like, good shot, my mother is here. Kuzonyiwa. It's gonna be newing. So nakanjani vele, my mother parked outside and she came. And as she was knocking at the door, I stood up and go and open for her. And my mother was like, Huetsala. Immediately when I opened, my mother was like, Huetsala. And I explained to her, I said, Mom, listen, this is what is happening. And these people are accusing me, saying these things about me. Hey, stay. And I told her that this is what is happening. And these people are accusing me of this and this and that and that. My mother was like, Juan. And I said, I don't know. Just come in and ask them. So my mother was walking in front of me. Guys, immediately when my mother entered the dining room, the living room, they were shocked. These two women were shocked because they know my mother very, very, very well. But probably they didn't know me because I didn't grow up next to them and I never went to their houses, and probably at my grandmother's funeral they didn't see me. Guys, my mother was like, Dumela. And they're like, oh, because my mother's name is Masfako. How and my mother was like, what's going on? Hi. My mother was like, what's going on? What is it that you were saying to my daughter when I was not here? You guys were being mean to her, and she was here helping your brother, the one that you couldn't help, the one that you couldn't come here and take care of her daughter, and you are here accusing her of stupid things. And the aunts, I cannot say my aunts because they disappointed me, and the aunts were like, no, this woman called us and we didn't know Pindi and we probably forgot her, blah blah blah. They were trying to explain themselves. So now the woman was alone. The woman was crying. If this is your daughter, why did he kick me out? Because she was coming to live here. My mother was like, how is any of my daughter's business? Because she just came here to help. Wenanje, you need to humble yourself and talk to your men and stop accusing people of things that they don't know. And now her friends, they started saying, hey, they started pulling out from supporting her now, and they started supporting my mother. And my mother was like, I'm very disappointed in both of you. I'm very, very disappointed. If you knew that something was going on and my daughter was involved, why didn't you guys call me to ask me if I know this child or not? Shabuge guys again. They talked, and the aunts, they started telling this woman that you need to let this go and you need to move out because this man said he doesn't want you anymore here. So they called my uncle, and my uncle answered, and they told my uncle that we are at your house, we are with this woman, we are with Pindi, and we are with Pindi's mother. Yo. When my uncle heard that, my mother was there. Yo. Because guys, my mother is very strict and so my uncle got really, really angry. He got really, really angry. He was like, what is this woman doing in my house? I don't want him anymore. Tell him to take his stuff and get the hell out of my house. Oh, guys, this woman was crying. She was crying. And then that's when I saw, I'm a daughter. And this woman was crying, and my uncle's sister was like, you know what, this is not gonna end well. The only thing that you can do is for you to leave, because if this person finds you here, it's not gonna be nice. He's gonna throw you out and it's not gonna be nice. And this woman was trying to convince me that you need to leave so that he doesn't find you here also. I mean, he's not a nice person. I was like, hey, me, I'm not here for him. I'm here for the baby. I'm here for baby K. So when you can say whatever you want. I'm just here for baby K. I find Naganjani, my uncle told the sisters that you hypocrites also leave my house. So they left, and the woman was there, and my mother was like, I'm not leaving Pindi with you in this house. So you need to go. It's either you go with me or it's either you go with these people. So the woman decided also that she's gonna go. Ahambele in kanjani sasala no mama, and my mother was like, what in the hell? I said, I don't know. He said, this man needs to come here and explain what's going on. My mother left and I was left, and my uncle came back from work. And when he came back from work, he explained to me everything that happened between him and this woman and why he doesn't want her anymore. I said, but funny enough, this woman kept on saying that you and I, we are an item. Why would she say that? And why would she say that you kicked her out because of me? And my uncle was like, no, it's because the time you came to live here, it was the time me and her were starting to have problems. So that's why I told her that you had moved out. She has to move out because you are coming, blah, 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 blah. I said, okay, okay. So now a week after all of this happened, I went, it was a weekend after this happened. I had to go home, like my normal time to go home, like on Fridays. And now my uncle started saying things like, no, please don't go. Please stay for a weekend. We will miss you. I was like, no, I need to go home because I miss home also. I miss my place. I just need my space and all those kind of things. And he was like, no, please don't go. I said, no, I have to go. No, I have to go. So Nalanjani, I packed my things and I went. So on Sunday, I came back and everything was fine. Everything was okay. He was my uncle. We were talking. He was telling me about his work. It was fine. It was okay. So now I needed to do the laundry. I needed to cook, but I was doing mine and baby K's laundry, not my uncle's. He was doing his own laundry on weekends. So I was doing my laundry and baby K's laundry, and of course, because I was cooking, I had to cook for everyone, and because nobody was cleaning, I had to clean the house. So finally, I think at some point I had to go back home for some time. So now, as I was home, my uncle called my mother. My uncle called my mother and he told my mother that he wants to come and speak to my mother about something. And my mother was like, okay, what could it be? Does it have anything to do with Pindi? He said, yes, it has something to do with Pindi, but it's not something bad. It's something that I've been thinking about for some time, and now I cannot hold myself. And my mother was like, okay, fine, you can come and talk about her. And then fine, Naranjanike, my uncle, went to see my mother. When my uncle got there, he actually told my mother that he wants to marry me. My mother was like, what? He said, yeah, I've been eyeing her. And what? And I want to marry her. My mother was like, hi, Bo. Do you hear yourself very well? My uncle was like, yes, I'm certain about this and there's no going back because I'm in love with this child. My mother was like, wena, sikatloshlala. My uncle was like, I'm even thinking of calling my uncle, who happens to be your father, to tell him about this. My mother was like, Zama, go and think about this. Go and clear your head and think what you're saying. Shapuge, my mother said no, of course. My mother said no, and he called him crazy. He was like, "You are not thinking straight. There's something wrong with you. You are not thinking straight." Shapuge, my uncle went. My uncle left, and after he left, my mother called me, and my mother was like, "Pindi, listen to this. Your uncle was here," and I was like, "Okay." He was here to talk about you. I said, "Oh my goodness, I didn't do anything. Whatever he says, I did. I didn't do it." She said, "No, no, 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 no. You will laugh when you hear this." So my mother was not taking this seriously, because my mother was like, "There's no way, no way this person could think of this." My mother was like, "Pindi, now you joke. We have a new problem now." And I said, "Okay, what is it? What is it?" He said, "Your uncle was here, like I told you, and he told me that he wants to marry you." Like, that was my response to my mother on the phone. I was like, "What?" My mother said, "Yes, he said he wants to marry you." I was like, "Huh?" He said, "Yes, this person says he's been eyeing you for some time." I said, "Mom, so I've been living in this person's house and this person was just seeing a wife." My mother was like, "Nazo." Like, "So what do we do now?" My mother said, "You are not going back there. The only thing that you will do is to go there and get your clothes and come back. You are not going back there." And I was like, "Huh?" Shapuge, guys, I went back and picked up my stuff and I went back home. And he was calling me, and he once called me and I answered, and he said, "Did your mother say?" I was like, "No. The fact that you are even calling me to tell me this, it's sick. You are sick. You need a doctor." I said, "You and my mother, you have the same surname. You have the same bloodline. What is wrong? Like, you're not even my type, you know?" I said, "No, you're not even my type. I don't like your type." I said, "No, no, no." Ugh. And he said, "I will give you time to think about this." I said, "No, you're not even gonna give me time to think about anything. I don't want this." And he said, "Yeah, maybe you're confused now because you just left your your ex." And I'm like, and I go, "No, no." I was like, "No, it's not gonna happen. You're not gonna marry me. I'm not gonna be your wife. No." And so, guys, now all the things this woman was saying, now I noticed that this woman was not crazy. She could actually see what my uncle was trying to do. But for me now, because I was just thinking about baby K, and I was just thinking that this is my uncle, there's no way this person could think of me like, a wife. Yes, I was old enough that time to get married, but not to my uncle. Hi, Bo. The same uncle who has a bloodline, like in his veins. He has my mother's blood. Like, he has the blood of my mother's family. Shapuge, guys. I thought this was over. I thought after telling him to get off, he would back off, but no, he didn't. So finally, few months later, my mother went to Kwatwa to visit. So I have my cousin there, and apparently my uncle called. My uncle called. Oh, my ear. My uncle called, and when he called, my cousin answered my mother's phone. He was like, "Hello." My uncle was like, "Oh, Pindi, is that you? Oh my goodness, Pindi, I haven't spoken to you in a while." My cousin was like, "No, this is not Pindi. This is so and so." And they're like, "Oh, I thought it was Pindi. Can I speak to Pindi's mother?" And then my mother answered the phone, and of course he was asking my mother when was the last time he saw me. He just wants to talk to me, nothing more. My mother was like, hey, stay away from her, stay away from her. Fine, fast forward to I think a year later. He called my mother and he told my mother that he had met a woman, and because oh, my mother makes curtains, so he told my mother that he wants my mother to come. They are inviting my mother to come over. Him and the woman, they are inviting my mother to come over to take measurements of the windows so that my mother can make curtains for them. So my mother was like, okay, I will go somewhere and I will come to you. Guess what? My mother immediately, when he walks into the house, the first thing my uncle said, oh, Pindu guy. My mother was like, like, behave yourself. Your woman is here. He was like, no, I still believe in my heart that this was the woman I have to marry. Pindi is the woman I have to marry because I liked her for a very long time. So apparently I was his crush. I was my uncle's crush. So guys, like I said, apparently I was his crush for a very long time. He's been eyeing me for a very long time. So anyway guys, my phone has told me that I don't have enough storage. So thank you so much for watching up to this far, and I hope you enjoyed this story time. And right after this I will try and record a Q&A, and I hope you guys will enjoy this. And I don't know what will come first, the Q&A or the story time, so I will see. So have a good day, a good night. It doesn't matter what time you're watching this video. Bye.